Avi's with us in Canada. Hey, Avi, welcome to the EntreLeadership podcast.
Hello, Dave. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up in your world?
Great. It's a big honor to be on the show.
Sure.
Big fan of, it helped me a lot in terms of the personal finances and now leadership. So big thank you for all your amazing work.
Thank you.
Okay, so this is a little bit of a different call. I am in the nonprofit world, and I'm the executive director of a private school, one that I actually attended as a kid.
Oh, that's cool.
And there's about 150 employees, mostly educational staff. Budgets around $12 million. There's about a 10-person business office team, which I work with. And I've heard a lot of the leadership talk, and I would say it's pretty much all completely relevant to nonprofit. But
Sure.
I wanted to know if there's something in particular of all of the leadership wisdom that you teach that you would say is either vital or slightly different if it would be spoken to the nonprofit world.
Okay. Well, technically, mathematically, there are no nonprofits that don't make a profit. If you don't take in more than your expenses, you guys close.
Right.
And so the nonprofit is a tax status. It's not an operational statement. Fair enough?
Yep.
Okay, so the only difference is the tax issue. Now, because it is nonprofit, you will have, I don't know what they are in Canada, but in the U.S., you've got different regulations, different people looking over your shoulder to make sure that, and you have to do the proper filings and so forth. A lot of it's public, if you're in the States anyway. You got a 990, it's called here. I have no idea what you do in Canada, but all the books are public. And so that's out there. The second thing I would add then is, and so I would run it like a business. The benefit you've got is that it's a business that has a big old wonderful heart, a heart of charity, a heart of service, right? And so it's easy to attract people with a missionary type zeal to the business, an evangelistic zeal to the business. And so that's wonderful because you get people that actually care deeply about the private school, just like you. You came back to to run the thing where you went to school because you care about it and it was a blessing to you and you want to be that same blessing, the headmaster later on or whatever your title is. And so, I just want I want everybody on the business staff to keep in mind that nonprofit doesn't mean no profit. It's a tax filing. We have to bring in operationally more than goes out, or somebody doesn't work here because we can't make payroll. And I would just keep talking about that over and over and over again so that we adjust our fees appropriately. We're collecting from the parents the tuition appropriately. Nonprofit doesn't mean incompetent. It doesn't mean substandard. And don't let it. Now, sometimes people use it for that label. You know that, and I know that. The second thing, and a part of that picture, I guess, the only other thing that comes to my mind is I'm going to do comp studies, and as much as I possibly can, I'm going to keep the budget running to where people are being paid at our nonprofit what they would make at a for-profit. Now, teachers, I know, are different in some settings. It's a different thing. Sometimes a private Christian school, so to speak, might not pay as well as a public school. But you also don't have to put up with some of the garbage either as a teacher. So that's the trade-off in some cases. But as much as possible, if you want to keep a key, let's say you got a bookkeeper on staff, I don't expect that bookkeeper to work for less because they work for a nonprofit. I want to pay her what bookkeepers make. If I got a technology person on staff, I want to pay them what a technology person makes because they're not going to stay. You're not going to be able to retain talent if you don't pay them somewhat close to market. Now, they'll give you, the individual employees will give you somewhat of a thing because they believe in the mission. They'll give you some lax on that, but I would arrange my budget in such a way that people are paid market as often as I can, and I would talk to people that nonprofit doesn't mean substandard. It doesn't mean incompetent, and nonprofit doesn't mean we take in less than we go out with, because we can't do that, and it's not sustainable. So that's the main things that are different. Unless you've got some kind of like your nonprofit board has put some kind of restrictions on the way you lead or how you, or
No,
hiring or
no,
firing or
no,
something.
definitely not.
I'm sorry?
No, definitely not. But but I just to repeat it, so I got it. So you're running it like a business. However, you have the advantage that there's a driving purpose and there's a mission that's easier to jump on board with.
Easier to articulate, yeah.
Well. Here, one small question, if I have time.
Sure.
Like I hear a lot of talk about, profit sharing. So when it's charity,
you can't do profit sharing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a little bit harder.
Yeah. And so what I would do is just develop some kind of a program that is a bonus. You can do bonuses, but they're not based on income. Like a church can't pay out they can, but it'd be weird to start paying out the pastor based on the tithing that comes in. You get a percentage of the tithe or something. No, that'd be an unusual pastoral comp plan. And so, we're not going to put, there's nobody here on straight commission selling stuff. I don't guess. I guess there could be somebody that's a development person or something. But by and large, you could say, okay, we've managed our operations lean. We've kept our expenses down. And so we've got some cash. And so we're going to be a blessing to all of our teachers and give them all a nice Christmas gift of $1,000 or whatever you got, if you had that much. But you could do that, but I wouldn't call it profit sharing. I'd just call it a Christmas gift, or I'd call it a bonus or whatever. There's no reason for you to get neck deep in cash in this situation. As long as you're operationally solid.
Yeah, loud and clear.
Yeah, so you can share with your team, but we just don't call it profit sharing because there's not technically a profit calculation, like you said. So that's an interesting question. But the number of times on the Ramsey Show on our financial side, folks, that I take a call, and I'm a bookkeeper and I make less because I work for a nonprofit. I'm like, why? Why you work there? Go be a bookkeeper somewhere else. Well, I believe in it. So you're going to give up a fourth of your income? You're going to donate a fourth of your income every year to them because they pay you 75 cents on the dollar? Most people don't. That's not a sustainable thing for most people.